where we started, where we are. It's a big difference. Ginger Runner. What is up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, here for another Ginger Runner review. Welcome back to the channel. New video this week. I'm excited about it. Before we dive right on into today's review, December is just around the corner, which means Gingermas is coming. If you're unfamiliar with what Gingermas is, that's okay. We will have tons of stuff to give away. Keep your eyes peeled to this channel for when that will start, where you'll need to go to register. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're very excited about it this year. And I thought I would mention this at the top of this review, but if you'd like to join the GR crew, we're doing daily live streams called Daily Brew, talking about running, gear, all sorts of good stuff, answering your questions. We're doing that every single day. Link in the description on how you can join that. Now, without further ado, let's dive into our review. We're talking about a shoe from Hoka. Hoka One's very own Challenger ATR 6. Oh man, the Hoka Challenger ATR 6 was provided for review by Hoka. I get to say whatever I want about everything I review on this channel. Today is no different. So over the years, the Challenger ATR has really become my workhorse trail running shoe that just provides all sorts of protection, durability, responsiveness, adaptability. It's been a great all-around, all-terrain shoe that a lot of people have come to enjoy, and especially now that the shoe comes in wider widths, which I'm sure many of you are excited about. But it also has begun to suffer from what I'm calling a bit of an identity crisis. Now being marketed as more of a trail and road hybrid shoe, the Challenger is having a difficult time finding its place in the Hoka lineup. Version 1 served me so well in so many ultras at so many distances with thousands of miles. This is my Challenger ATR 1. I still have it, I hold on to it, and I cherish it as one would with a shoe. Clearly one of my favorite trail shoes from Trail Shoe Past. But with each new version, the shoe has changed, gotten heavier, less cushioned, more durable, but less Hoka flagship trail shoe. Ultimately, with shoes like the Torrent, Torrent 2, Evo Speed Goat, Evo Mafate, this has to be on purpose. So with the Challenger ATR 6, let's start here. For those that have come to love recent versions of the Hoka Challenger, the new ATR 6 will delight you. The shoe still sports a stout amount of responsive CM EVA midsole underfoot with a 5mm drop, a thoroughly durable upper, and thicker gusseted tongue for plenty of protection and comfort in a variety of conditions. A potted zonal outsole featuring trail rubber and short 4mm lugs throughout really get you the grip when you need it. Really, most of this shoe remains and feels identical to the previous version, with the exception of the new Unify Reprieve recycled yarn used in the upper and collar mesh, some slight outsole and overlay changes, different laces, and a 20-gram weight gain, bringing my shoes in at 11.39 ounces or 323 grams in my size 11. If Hoka wanted a marketable hybrid shoe, the Challenger ATR 6 is truly the Toyota Prius of their lineup. So, does the Challenger ATR 6 still get me as excited about the Challenger as I have been in the past? Is this a shoe that should make your trail or road hybrid shoe rotation, or does it fail to live up to its own history? In today's review, as in all of my reviews, I'm going to be talking about the things I like and dislike about the Challenger ATR 6, starting, as always, with the things that I like. It's the same. So when you compare it to the Challenger ATR 5, there are so many similarities. It just feels and runs the same. So those of you who are used to the Challenger ATR 5 found this to be a really wonderful shoe. I have great news for you. You're going to love the Challenger ATR 6 because it does improve in a couple of areas over the 5, but they're really slight and subtle changes that you may not even feel right off the bat. So if you're used to the 5, you're going to love the 6, and I know that will make a lot of you very happy. Durable. So I know this was an issue that a lot of people had with very early versions of the Challenger. I'm happy to report that the last couple of versions have actually really exceeded my expectations in the durability department. The new Unify Reprieve yarn is a recycled material. I love seeing companies use more recycled materials, so I'm going to give that a little shout out. But it actually works quite well as an upper material that is durable, while not super breathable and certainly a bit heavier. The overall benefit is that the shoe is going to hold up in a variety of conditions on a variety of surfaces, and it's going to provide you with plenty of comfort. It is a bit softer than the previous upper as well. These new materials, the way that it's all put together, the ingredients and the recipe bring you a durable Challenger, which I know many of you are also going to be excited to hear. protection. So along with those new durable materials, what you're getting in the Challenger that you weren't necessarily getting in earlier versions, but you're certainly getting in the more recent versions, is just that level of protection, both from underneath and from the top and from the sides. Your foot is going to feel like it is inside of a tank, and it's going to be protected from all angles. The midsole density almost makes a rock plate obsolete in the shoe. Actually, I was pretty surprised at the actual amount of protection underfoot on more technical terrain, sharp rocks, roots, things like that. They just don't influence your foot strike as much in this shoe as you would expect. For a shoe that's becoming more and more designed for a hybrid scenario, the amount of protection from it is great. Something that you're not going to find in any road shoe. You might find in some trail shoes. You just get a lot of it here. Good protection. And my final like is that the Challenger ATR 6 is being marketed more as a hybrid shoe. So this is a surprise even to me as a die-hard Challenger fan, someone who considered this a long-term trail shoe, something I've been running in for so many years. To see it marketed more as a hybrid shoe makes sense. I see it being a great market for this shoe. People who are running on gravel surfaces, road surfaces, from door to trail and beyond. I think if you're looking for one shoe that kind of does a lot of different things pretty good, this is a great option. Of course, it hurts me a little bit to see the Challenger being marketed less as a trail shoe and more as sort of a all-around terrain shoe, but I know that there are so many other offerings from Hoka that are very trail specific. Seeing it marketed more as a hybrid shoe, I think will open the door for more potential users of the shoe, which is good because I don't want to see it go anywhere, purely because I have such a fond, long relationship with the earlier versions. That being said, it's not all properly crumbed sourdough and Paul Hollywood handshakes. There are a couple of things that I dislike about the Hoka One Challenger ATR 6. Let's get to those now. Responsive. So this is going to be a like for some people and a dislike for others. In this case, I'm calling it a dislike purely because we're losing some of that wonderful cushion that Hoka is known for. The midsole has just become a lot more responsive. While it provides that extra level of protection, you end up losing a lot of ground feel. You end up losing a lot of that life that I found in earlier versions of the Challenger. That little bit of squish, that little bit of give. I feel like we've lost a bit of that. The overall comfort of the shoe has gone down from version to version. So you're gonna get a lot of responsiveness here, and in my book on this shoe, that is gonna be a bit of a negative. Weight. As I mentioned, it's gained some weight, 20 grams from the previous version, so it's 323 grams or about 11.3 ounces in my size 11. Anytime a shoe gains weight, of course, I want to point it out, especially when it's this amount of weight. From version 1, which is still a really lightweight trail shoe, it's a 40-gram weight gain to where we are in the 6th version. I would hope that over time, a shoe would begin to lose weight, stay the same, stay within a couple of grams. But from 5 to 6, we've gained 20, and from 1 to 6, we've gained 40 grams. It's, again, a lot of people will be like, that's negligible. You're running through dirt. It's going to pick up mud, and that's going to, add more weight as it is. I get it. Just make them lighter. That's all. And my final dislike is more nitpicky, but it's certainly something I want to point out, and that's the new laces, which I think are also made of a new semi-recycled material. The previous laces, super soft, a little bit of stretch to them, more give, but it's easier to get a more dialed in fit with these laces just because they're more adaptable and they didn't require a lot of breaking in. Now with close to 70 or 80 miles in the Challenger ATR 6, these laces haven't broken in at all. They're very stiff, pretty harsh and thick. It's a real nitpicky dislike because the laces, how much influence do they have on your ride when you have a thicker tongue and thicker upper materials? They just became tedious. That's it. So, in conclusion, the Hoka One Challenger ATR 6 is a near identical follow-up to the Challenger ATR 5. Those of you who enjoyed that shoe will thoroughly enjoy this shoe. What we're seeing more of is that this shoe is being marketed and geared more towards a do-it-all, multi-surface, multi-terrain capable shoe, loaded with more durable and heavier materials. And while I still love the Challenger, despite it not being what I initially fell in love with, I do feel that there are better options specifically for trail running, even in the Hoka One lineup. But if you're looking for a shoe that is the jack of all trades, master of none, the Challenger ATR 6 may be exactly what you're looking for. It's going to come down to when and where and how you're planning on using it. Let's get more specific. Build quality. I mentioned the build of this is dynamite. I think both the Challenger ATR 5 and the 6 have been built really, really well. I think the 6 is built a little bit better, even including some of those recycled materials. Just overall build, material usage, and stuff like that, I'm a fan of. It's going to hold up really well. Comfort, this is where this shoe isn't as lively as previous versions of the Challenger. I don't think this midsole, the CM EVA, really does wonders for overall comfort underfoot. It's a bit harsher ride, more responsive while providing protection. So it's really going to come down to what you prefer. Fit, it is easy to get a pretty dialed in fit with this. The laces don't move a lot. So once you lock it in, you're locked in. So if your foot begins to swell over a long run, you're going to have to readjust because these fat sausage laces just don't want to budge or acclimate to your foot at all. Also, added benefit, it comes in widths. So if you do have a wider foot, you might want to check out some of the wider options, though I do not know if it is a last change or if it's a amount of fabric and a volume change. The fact that they write their stats here on the side makes me think it's a volume change as opposed to an overall platform change when you switch over to a wider width. Price at $129, you know, it's right in there. I actually think it's a pretty good price point. It's not overly expensive compared to what we're seeing these days, especially with carbon-plated road shoes. Come on. But at $129, it's a decent price point for a shoe that is going to get you on multi-surface, multi-terrain, multi-condition, and provide you with plenty of durable, protected miles. It's not a bad price. And finally, looks. You know, Hoka's been dialing in their looks a little bit on some of their shoes. I don't think this is hideous. I think some people might like this color version. There are other versions that might look a little bit better. You know, I think the Challenger sort of sports some of their most simple, basic colorways. I don't think they're doing anything super flashy with the Challenger anymore. Just a bit of a bummer. I like some flash. Bringing us to our final criteria is the Hoka One Challenger ATR 6, a buy, try, or a why. It's a try. If you have not tried the Challenger since some of the earlier versions, it's going to be a completely different shoe, but I do think it's going to be one of those shoes that will adapt to a bunch of different situations and provide many of you who maybe don't need a trail-specific pair of shoes, but maybe run on some bike paths or gravel paths, something like that. You might need something a little bit more adaptable to different conditions, mud, weather, stuff like that. It's a great option for that. So it's a solid try, and that, my friends, is it for today's review. If you have any more questions about the Challenger ATR 6, if you want to get a pair for yourself, I have links in the description that will take you over to Running Warehouse. They are affiliate links. They cost you nothing, but they do help the channel out. So consider using those if you are shopping for anything running related, including the Challenger ATR 6. And of course, if you like this review, make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/thegingerrunner. We're doing new videos, new live streams, all that good stuff every single week. Right over there, social media links, just go, you know, do what you got to do. And at the bottom, patreon.com/thegingerrunner is where you can join the GR crew for as little as $1 a month. There's tons of perks on the back end, including our new Discord server. We're doing live streams every single day. We're talking about gear, training, running, everything. You definitely want to jump in there and join the crew if you have not already. And that is it. Thank you so much, my friends, for watching this review. We really appreciate it. Of course, we hope you are getting out there, training as hard as you can, virtually racing harder, and partying the hardest. I know I am. We'll see you guys next week for some more fun. Okay? Bye-bye. If any of you manage to get a pre-order or purchase your very own PlayStation 5, be sure to contact me because I'll happily take that off your hands and play it all day. I want one. Yeah!